Hello, Somervell County residents. I'm Chrissy Kevy, your Elections Administrator. I wanted to take this opportunity to introduce myself to you and to give you important information regarding the upcoming election year. First, I would like to talk about where we're located and the best way to contact us with any questions you might have regarding voter registration or the election itself. Our office is located at the Somervell County Annex Building, which is 107 Northeast Vernon. Our office hours are 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. Our phone number is 254-897-9470. Our email address is elections@co.somerville.tx.us, and our county website is somerville.com. Now I'd like to talk about voter registration. The deadline for voters to register for the March 1st, 2022 primary election is January 31st. Applications must be hand-delivered or postmarked to our office by that date. Now I'd like to discuss the March 1st, 2022 primary election. Early voting dates are Monday, February 14th through Saturday, February 19th, closed Sunday, February 20th, and Monday, February 21st, in observance of President's Day. We will reopen again on Tuesday, February 22nd through Friday, February 25th from 8 to 5 both weeks at the Somervell County Conference Room located at 206 Elm Street. Election Day is Tuesday, March 1st from the hours of 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. at the Somervell County Expo located at 202 Bo Gibbs Boulevard. Lastly, I would like to talk about the offices up for re-election. First, we have the County Judge Danny Chambers, Treasurer Suzanne Graves, County Clerk Michelle Reynolds, District Clerk Virginia Dixon, Justice of the Peace Precincts 1 and 2 Ronnie Webb, and Justice of the Peace Precinct 3 and 4 Scott May. All of those candidates are currently running unopposed. We do have two offices up for re-election that are opposed. One is Commissioner Precinct 2 with Dwayne Johnson, Norman Planner, and Richard Talavera. And next is Commissioner Precinct 4 with Wade Bush and Randall Bozart. Please take the time to listen to each of the candidates' interviews to learn more about their platforms, plans, and visions for Somervell County. Please feel free to reach out to our office if there's anything we can help you with as we go into the 2022 elections.
Hello and welcome. I'm here with Wade Bush, incumbent commissioner for Somervell County Precinct 4, who is running for re-election. Thank you, Wade, for agreeing to come today and be interviewed so our Somervell County residents have the opportunity to hear your plans and vision for the county if elected.
Thank you.
All right, let's open up this dialogue today with just some general questions. This is going to let our audience get a feel for why you're running and who you are. First question, at the end of your term, what are 3 things you want to be remembered for?
Well, I guess the first that I'm here for the public, for the county, and to try to improve some of the things that are going on in our county. There's a lot of growth, and we like growth, and we need growth, but we need it moderated growth that we can have these nice subdivisions that are adequate for the people, and that the citizens that move here, that we protect them from the subdividers to make sure that they get what they need, and we keep the growth moderate to where we don't outgrow our infrastructure. So that's one important thing we're working on now, and we'll continue to work on. It's very important, but I guess that's and also we remembered that I was here and I did the best job I could for the community. That's what I'm here for the public, for the county, Somervell County.
Thank you. Contrast your priority for Somervell County, and specifically Precinct 4, with your opponent.
Explain contrast to me.
Kind of in your what makes you different than your opponent? What do you offer? What makes you stand out in contrast to your the other running?
Okay. As far as
When you think of precinct 4, kind of honing in now down to your specific precinct, what are your priorities that you feel are distinct or specific in contrast maybe with the other opponent running?
well, yeah, I have a lot of history with the county, and I've got a lot of experience in those people, the people that are in precinct 4. This is what I'm here for. I'm here for them. To me, your precinct is one thing that I have a lot of control over. So I try to do my very best for the people in that precinct as well as the rest of the county too. But the precinct, how the county works, each precinct is run by each commissioner, and their precinct is their priority, and that's what mine is. But there also goes along that you are a part of a committee that runs the rest of the county. But my precinct becomes a priority for me. I know I said that multiple times, but that's the most important part of it to me, is to take care of the people that live in your precinct.
Thank you. All right, let's jump into some of the topics that are generally on the forefront of Somervell County residents' minds. With the state devaluing the nuclear plant, thus the county collecting less money from the plant, what are your plans for supplementing the lost revenue for the county?
Well, that goes back to the moderate growth. We need growth to help with the citizens that are here, so we don't burden them with all of the increase in taxes that the plant loses. So if we have moderate growth, we can help the citizens that are here. The new subdivisions will add taxable value to our role, so it would help everyone else with their taxes.
Thank you. Do you believe Somervell County entities should be subsidized? And if so, for how long? Is there a point in which subsidized entities should become self-funding? And if it can't, should it be dissolved?
So I guess subsidy entities, you're talking about our enterprise system.
Yes.
2 systems. Absolutely, they should not be subsidized. And we're working very hard. We have one now that is totally on its own and is doing very well, and actually has capital in the bank to keep them operating. And we have another one that we're working diligently on to try to get it to carry its own weight. So there isn't any money going to our enterprise funds. All the money that is taxed to the taxpayers goes to the services that we're supposed to take care of. The sheriff department, fire department, county offices, the parks, the library, all that stuff, sheriff department, that it's all spent where it's supposed to be, not on an enterprise system. I don't believe the enterprise system should be using tax dollars, period. I know we have them, and I'm assuming when we did those, they were to make money, to subsidize the county. Well, it hasn't ever worked that way, but it just seemed to be, we're working hard to get them to turn them around to where they can put money back into the county instead of taking tax dollars. So my answer is no.
Okay, thank you. In your opinion, what effort should the county court be leading in this term? What effort should they be making this term? Let me put it another way. What would you like to see happening in the county court that currently is not happening?
In the Somerville
Yes.
Commissioner's Court?
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's probably a lot of things, but I think we're working well together. And I guess the big thing is the court needs to work with the city, and we are working with the city, and I'm excited about it. We are moving forward with working with the city to work together on some of these things that instead of being all one county, should be not all county, should be the city and county working together. So I think that's a big one. And also the court needs, we're working diligently to redo our subdivision rules. We do have some concerns there that we need to redo to improve them so we keep the growth on a even scale to where we can control the growth, where we can handle the growth instead of, like one person said, getting the cart before the horse. So there are some things that have caught up with us, and we're working hard to work those out where we don't have those problems any longer.
Thank you. Well, you kind of already led into the next question. Do you think the city and the county should work together? Please explain your position. If the answer is yes, where should they partner?
Well, there's probably a lot of things we should partner with, but that'll be something to work out with the city. We're partnershiping with the CVB, and that worked out really great. It's a good program, and the city and the county had a committee that got together, and they sat down and wrote some rules, and we both passed them, and to this point it seems to be working really well. And there's probably other things we need to work on. Right now I couldn't tell you. There's probably a lot of things that we could improve on, and the way it seems to be working, I think we can work together on some of these things and make it easier for everybody, and sharing some of the cost of some of this stuff. So,
Thank you. What experience do you have with creating a budget and adhering to a budget?
well, I worked with the budget for many, many years. Wrote a budget for many, many years. I worked for the county for many years, and I was on the school board for many years, and we did budget for both, and we worked a lot of hours. It takes a lot of hours when you're talking about spending other people's money, tax dollars. So it's very important that you get it right, and I've done it. This is my third year with the county when it comes to budget, and I think we do a real good job. I think we're diligent and make sure that we spend the money the way that the taxpayers expect us to. And our departments in the last year have really came together, and they've done what we asked, and they all did a good job. And I applaud all departments for working hard and staying in line. And we didn't raise taxes last year for the county, so I think that was a great compromise. It worked out well. So.
Well, thank you. Well, this overall discussion, it really has just been kind of an opener to have more dialogue. And hopefully moving forward, even as we go through elections and as the court is working on behalf of the citizens, that people in Somervell County feel that they can reach out and contact you, get questions answered, etc. So the last question that I'm going to leave you with before we close is, if elected, how many hours a week will you physically be in the office and accessible to citizens if elected? What will your posted hours be? And what other ways can citizens contact you?
Well, first of all, as I came into office, my first obligation was I was here 40 hours plus a week. Sometimes more, sometimes less, but most of the time, 40 hours a week. I'm accessible anytime. All they have to do is call. I have a mobile phone and an office phone, email, and willing to talk to anybody that has any discussion with the county. And if anybody in my precinct needs any information or anything from me, I'm willing to answer the calls anytime, or weekend, night or weekends. I have no problem with that.
What is your email and phone number if citizens have questions?
The county phone number is 254-897-2206, and my email address is wadebush at, well, I can't say it right off. I can't remember exactly what it is, how it goes, but they can also email me at wadebush@yahoo.com. That's a personal email. They can email it to me to there, then I can take it from there. So feel free to call. And I have a mobile phone number is 254-396-7731. Feel free to call that number.
Well, thank you for your candidness and helping to open up dialogue about how you see yourself in the role of commissioner. Well, actually, you're the incumbent, and your vision for the county's future. We really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Hello and welcome. I have here Randall Bozarth, candidate for the Somervell County Commissioner, Precinct 4. Thank you, Randall, for agreeing to come today and be interviewed so our Somervell County residents have the opportunity to hear your plans and your vision for the county if elected. So let's just open up our dialogue today with some general questions that's going to let our audience get a feel for why you are running and who you are. So first question for you. At the end of your term, what are 3 things you want to be remembered for?
The very first thing I want to be remembered for is providing a facility or a venue for the youth of Somervell County. In the past years, things have been taken away or that they didn't have anything. I have been wanting things for the youth for years. Been with the youth for years, and I want to continue to be with the youth because they're going to follow us as we leave, and they're going to be providing for us later. Number 2, I want a huge communication between us and the city, because you have to work together. Even though there's 2 different budgets, that doesn't matter. What matters is how we work together and to provide what we need for the community. Number 3, that was a difficult one for me, but I think what that one's going to be is where we're all out in the community, where we can provide support for each other and have a camaraderie, I guess, and take care of each other through this huge growth we're going to have that's inevitable, because Glen Rose is out there and people want to come in. So we're going to have to come together and provide stability for each other through this huge growth that's going to happen.
Thank you. Contrast your priority for Somervell County, and specifically your Precinct 4, with your opponent. So contrast your priorities. Like, what is your priority, and specifically for Precinct 4, kind of in contrast to your opponent?
Contrast, I focus more on the youth, and I have, and everybody I've talked to, that is what I've done for 30 years, and that's what I'm going to continue to do. In contrast, yes, it is important to have a good revenue in the county, but that is not the only goal I'm going to have. But my main goal is the youth, whether it be the youth fair, providing a venue for these kids to go to, such as a swimming pool or a skate park or an old school bowling alley, anything to get the kids involved, have a little ownership in it. That's where I think we're going to be a little different.
Thank you. All right, let's jump into some topics that are generally in the forefront of Somervell County residents' minds. With the state devaluing of the nuclear plant, thus the county collecting less money from the plant, what are your plans for supplementing the lost revenue for our county?
Lost revenue. Well, the thing that we have to do is get some more businesses in here. We've had the same ones, and unfortunately through COVID, we have had some fail, some did make it through. We're going to have to try to get some more businesses in here to where they can help with the tax. Since we did pass the tax for outside the city, so we're going to try to get some more businesses in there. Get the homes, more people coming in, but kind of regulate that to where it doesn't grow so fast that we're behind the 8 ball. And we'll work from there, but we're going to have to try to find a way to build some more employees into the system, because we're going to grow and we're going to be behind. So what I'm saying is we're going to have to keep our tax rate pretty much the same. I'm never going to say it's not going to raise, because it's kind of inevitable that it may raise. And just try to get some businesses in here that want to be here, to help us.
Thank you. Do you believe Somervell County entities should be subsidized, and if so, for how long? Is there a point in which a subsidized entity should become self-funding, and if it cannot, should it be dissolved?
Wow, that's a good one. If it is self-sustaining, then there shouldn't be any tax dollars going to it, but the tax dollars is what put it there. If we're talking about any county entity, the people have paid for it. So how are the people going to recoup their money, in a sense, for that entity? So should it continue? Well, you're going to have to, unless it completely stays on its own. If it doesn't, because the employees still are through the county, and so you're still going to have to subsidize it that way, or totally make it a private place.
Thank you. In your opinion, what efforts should be made, or should the county court be leading in this next term?
What should?
So kind of long and the short, what would you like to see happen in the county that is currently not happening? What efforts should the court be making in this next term?
I keep referring back to the youth, the people that are going to take care of us as we get older, and I want to have something for the youth. It really doesn't matter what it is. I want to keep them safe. I want to keep them here, and then once they are adults, they can move on and then come back and do the same thing like so many have done, make a life here.
If we can expound a little bit more, I have some follow-up on that since you had a highlighted effort. Detail what kind of action plan would be required to make this happen. So how are you going to do it? And then if it is something that requires funding, can you give a simple outline how it might fit into the county budget, and detail if it's going to be subsidized or self-funding, kind of going back to that other question, and kind of explain how it would benefit the citizens.
What I have put in my head and what I have spoken to a few people about is it wouldn't be a completely county-funded program or for the venue. I was talking to some people about maybe the city sharing half the cost, the county sharing half the cost. We both have something in stake in it to where it provides not just for the county but the city, and the revenue there is not going to be real high. I'll be honest with you on that, because it is a youth facility that'll be run by managed by an adult but run by the students, to where they can have a place to go and work out, socialize, and be in a safe spot. But funding, I'd have looked at the budget, to be honest with you, the actual county budget, what its capital is, or how much is available. But through 4 years, I do believe we could at least get a swimming pool, just through moving some tax dollars around, if we so decide to have a entity stay on its own.
Thank you. Do you think the city and the county should work together? Please explain your position, and if the answer is yes, where should they partner?
I believe the city and the county should be together 100%, because the city is in the county. You have to work together. Where do we need to work together? Well, we need to work together with our law enforcement, our fire and emergency responders, city officials, along with the county commissioners. They need to be seen, sometimes not just heard, but seen, to where they can show these people that we are in this together, instead of just being by yourself and saying, I am county commissioner or I am a city councilman. Be together. Just everybody come together on this.
Thank you. What experience do you have with creating a budget and adhering to a budget?
Well, first, I have my own personal budget at home. Number two, since being at Glen Rose High School for 30 years, I am responsible for the career and technology budget, and I do the purchase orders. I manage the money of the department, and so they have to adhere to what they have to spend. You can't go a penny over, so that's where I'm at with budgets.
Thank you. Okay, all of this dialogue today really was intended to be an opening dialogue between those who are running for office and then our citizens here in Somervell County. And really do hope that moving forward, this is a good jumping off point, that if other people have further questions or interest in what you were doing, how to continue that dialogue. So with that said, here's our last question, and feel free to add, provide content information of how to contact you. How many hours a week will you physically be in the office and accessible to citizens if elected? What will your posted office hours be, and what other ways can citizens contact you?
I believe that I would be lying to the public if I said I was going to be there from 8 to 5. My goal is to be there to 8 to 5, but if there's something out in the county of which I get called away from the office, then I will not be in the office. So I'm going to state that my hours will be 8 in the morning till 5 in the afternoon, which is regular business hours. Other than that, to contact me, I can give them my phone number. I'll be in that office. They can look me up on Facebook. I don't have anything else. I don't do Instagram or Twitter, but they can just contact me via email. I have that, and so Facebook, Messenger, anything. I'll be available.
Well, thank you. And thank you for your candidness and helping us open up the dialogue about how you see yourself in the role as a commissioner and your vision for the county's future. We really appreciate your time.
Thank you for asking me to do this.
Thank you.